Hey, everybody. It's Wednesday, and you know what that means. Yes, that's right. It's time for Sarcastic Distractions, the interesting podcast for interesting people. Featuring, as always, the Gentleman Society of Podcasting. Myself, Harvey. My heterosexual life mate, Dave.
Hello.
The ever-loving, ever-pumping AJ.
Ever wonder if Skeletor was just trying to be friends with He-Man?
He wasn't trying to be friends.
No, he
trying
wasn't.
No,
he was definitely his enemy.
No,
Well, he wasn't directly.
But I'm thinking it was like, like one of those scenarios in like grade 1 where you sit behind the girl and you pull her pigtails because you like her.
Oh,
No, because
But,
Skeletor
like, more evil,
was
because
more after.
Skeletor's-
No, Skeletor is evil because he wanted the Castle of the Power, so that
Yeah.
way he could go and like take over
And
the
be
world.
He-Man's
right.
friend.
No, He-Man was the one stopping him from getting that.
That's
so
true.
technically,
But
He-Man was
there
being
was
a complete
miscommunication
asshole.
somewhere.
Well,
no.
I think it's because of his face.
I would think more importantly, we need to talk about his condition. How is it you're fully, able-bodied, normal body on top, and then you got a fucking skull for a head? I think that's something that like, how does that happen
I'm
to
sure
somebody?
he saw doctors.
Yeah.
I'm
well,
sure he saw. How do you go from Keldor to Skeletor?
Yeah.
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't figure it out. That's exactly what we're talking about today. We're having ourselves another fun, distracting discussion about, everything in life.
About
Yeah.
He-Man.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, hey, man. Yeah.
He-Man.
Skeletor was right. Yeah.
It would be an interesting movie if they could remake that.
They
Oh,
are.
yeah.
They are.
Are
they really?
They are in the process. Last I heard, they'd casted somebody.
Yeah, I know
To
they have
play
the
the He-Man.
animated one, which is nice. I'm not trying to.
Oh,
knock
yeah.
that
No, it's
one.
fine. Yeah.
But no, I think they're trying to
Really?
make this come to reality.
Yeah.
But are they going to follow the same format as the OG 80s one? Or are they going to like try to make it more
I think it's
source material?
I think it's going to be more. What do you mean more source?
Well,
material?
I mean,
they're not rebooting.
they weren't
the
in
Dolph-
Eternia in that one.
They're not rebooting the Dolph Lundgren one.
Oh, okay.
That's because Mattel came in and said this is shit and we're not fucking. We don't want our. Yeah, they didn't
Yeah,
want the
well,
brand on it.
I just want to say this. There is no other He-Man like Dolph Lundgren. That's
No,
all I'm
no.
gonna say.
I don't
he's
care
the
what
best.
people say.
He's the best.
I was a fan.
I agree.
I might have been 6 years old,
movie,
but
though.
Yeah, when I was
Like-
6, it was amazing. It was fantastic.
It was just terrible because you're right. They were an Eternia for like a fraction of it.
And it was like some sort of desert rock scene.
If you watch, right? Well, no, it was in the castle.
mhm.
Oh, yeah, that's
It was-
right.
it
That's
was
right. It was in the
And there was
castle.
the
Skeletor,
hell
Right.
thing ahead
Skeletor
of time.
takes
Yeah,
over the
that's right.
castle,
In
blah,
the
blah, blah.
beginning, they have the desert thing, and then the end, they're in
Yeah.
the castle.
Yeah,
Crystal,
but
that's
then
right.
All prettied up and stuff.
Yeah.
And half
other
the
than
car.
that, they're running around with a little gnome dude and
Yeah,
and Monica.
Gwildor, thank you.
Gwildor.
Gwildor, yeah. Who's I've never seen before outside of that movie.
If you watch the end of that movie, the big fight scene part, there's a certain point where it's like good, like the cinematography and everything's good,
Mm.
and then what was it? They ran out of money
Oh.
and time, and the
Oh,
studio
shit.
was like, right,
Oh,
tapping on.
get it done, get
right?
it done.
So they literally shot two people having a sword fight in front of a light.
Oh my god.
So it was just this like silhouette.
Oh
yeah,
wow.
if you watch the end of it, it's just it. That's why it's bad.
Oh, okay.
I
There's a
don't-
lot of reasons why that movie's bad, and then it turned into all of the props that were going to get used for the sequel ended up getting used for Jean-Claude Van Damme's
Street Fighter.
Cyborg.
Oh, Cyborg. That
Yeah.
was a cool movie. I
Yeah.
think it was. I don't know if it was or
No.
not. I mean,
No,
in my
if it-
head, it was cool.
Any movie where all the characters are named after like guitars and amplifiers and shit like that. That's your writing. That's what
That's where you're
That's
going?
where you went with
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Okay,
no.
no. Get off the shrooms, bud.
But,
Or
yeah.
maybe take more. You
or
never
take
know.
more, yeah, depending on where
Yeah.
you're at.
Because all the set pieces and shit like that were supposed to be for the sequel
Oh.
to He-Man, but
Yeah, there was never
It
going to be a sequel
tanked.
to that movie. There's no
No.
fucking way. There is no way. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
wow. You know what? Now that we're fucking talking about that movie, I get that sequence that they play on that stupid.
Yeah.
It's now in my head and it will be there for fucking days. Oh, wow.
this must be a cool instrument.
Yeah.
That was so that whole scene in the music shop is so cartoonish. It reminded me of like the old Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon.
Mhm, mhm.
You know, it had that same kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The whole movie did.
Yeah. Speaking of movies and sequels, Beetlejuice 2 is a go.
I heard.
It's happening.
I've definitely heard this.
It's happening. They
And
got
it's-
Keaton, Ryder.
And it's not Beetlejuice Goes Hawaiian.
No, it's not.
No.
And who else? Obviously, Burton's directing. I think Depp's got a part.
We got Keaton, Ryder, Depp, Catherine O'Hara, Willem Dafoe.
Oh, Catherine O'Hara's in it?
Yeah.
Fucking right.
Willem Dafoe, Jenna Ortega.
Whoa,
from
yeah.
Wednesday.
She's
She's playing Lydia's daughter.
oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
Great casting.
So,
I
Yeah.
can't wait. And then
I don't know. That's a high level to fall from.
do you think Alec Baldwin would join in? I don't know with his recent shit.
Oh yeah,
You know?
I don't think Gina Davis or Alec Baldwin are involved.
That's a real
They're
shame.
probably going to write into the story that they moved on.
Yeah, they moved out,
Oh,
moved
man.
on. And, yeah.
To-
She
You know-
took over the house. You know.
You know who I wish was in it? Won't be though, because they're dead. Their caseworker.
Oh, Juno.
Yeah, she was the best.
yeah.
She was the
Fucking-
best.
Maybe there'll be a picture or something.
Yeah.
She
She
smoked the cigarette and it would come out. Her
Yeah,
fucking throat.
that was so creepy. I was so-
Can I go to the bathroom, coach? You're dead.
You're
you don't
dead.
need to go to the bathroom. Fuck, I love that movie. I remember
Oh, God.
every time I watched that movie, because I saw it when it in the theater when it came out.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? So that would have been like 88?
Yeah, I think
87,
roughly.
88 or something
That's
like
cool that your
that.
parents took you to see that.
Yeah.
My dad did, yeah.
Yeah.
He liked to get stoned and go to the movies.
I think all
So
of
we'd
it.
go
Well, not
see-
yours,
so-
but
So we'd go see cool movies all the time.
Yeah.
And he knew the guy who owned the theater.
Oh,
So
nice.
we'd always get little perks and stuff. But
nice.
I remember, like, sitting in the spot, like I can, like, watch that movie. Like the memory just like comes,
Yeah.
like a flashback.
Nice.
It's yeah.
I remember that as being my like first favorite movie.
Yeah, I could say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Like I liked the
One of.
Transformers movie as a kid and stuff, and I obviously that was great. But I remember that like just being absolutely in love with everything in that
Mm.
movie. Yeah.
no,
Like-
I can remember what my first favorite movie was, and it was way before that.
Oh yeah, what's
Yeah,
that?
It was Disney's Robin Hood.
Oh yeah, that's a
Really?
good movie.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
The
Wow.
with the fox.
Still your favorite movie, isn't it?
Chicken. And kinda.
Yeah, it's still
kinda.
up there, yeah.
I like it because it's
Nostalgic.
not a musical.
Yeah, yeah.
They don't break.
They
into
have some music-y parts,
There's
but
one
yeah.
or two songs, but it's not. They don't just break out into song
Yeah.
like how Disney progressed, quote unquote, with their storytelling.
I
It's
was a-
more
Yeah.
Broadway-ish now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where it's just, two people are talking, then all of a sudden, ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, it also
I
broke.
like that
crabs
in the
can't
90s.
sing. Fuck
Pardon?
you.
I like that in the 90s. I'm
Oh
sorry.
yeah,
I
those
hated
Broadway.
it.
I
hits.
loved it. I
hated
liked it.
Speaking of, are you
Well,
guys
because you're a fan of the Rocky Horror Picture
I
Show
am.
style
Yeah.
thing, though,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
See, I appreciated more when they did movies like was it Lost in Atlantis or Atlantis Lost City or whatever the fuck it was.
the one with Michael J. Fox?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there was zero singing in that.
Right.
Zero.
That's a great film.
Or when they
I don't know
had
if I've ever seen it.
Oh, it's really great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
oh, really good, yeah.
Yeah.
I could deal with it when they had great comedians as part of it, like
Robin Williams.
Aladdin.
Yeah.
His performance in Aladdin is one of my favorite Robin Williams performances.
Ever?
Bar none.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It goes like that, Mrs. Doubtfire.
It's within like
Yeah.
probably top 3 to 5 of his greatest works for
Mhm.
sure. For sure.
And they let him riff, man.
Mhm.
That was kind of the
well, when Robin Williams comes to play, they don't
Right.
put fucking shackles on him.
well, it's like the opening. The opening with the dude. He's comes on the camel and he opens his shop and he's
Yeah.
trying to sell all this shit. That wasn't even in the script.
Oh, they had to reanimate it.
They animated that specifically because they brought him in and there was a table full of fucking
Oh, fuck.
things, and they were just go like do something, and they just recorded it.
That is amazing.
And then they went in and it wasn't in the script.
Oh my
Yeah.
god. Yeah, he's fantastic.
Before we move on, we have to point out that you're both technically wrong. The best movie, way back then, Care Bears.
Oh shit, that movie
Oh,
was fucking
man.
amazing.
I-
I was so scared of that
I
movie.
that was
loved
a
it.
dark.
Oh,
that was a dark.
gosh.
movie.
So
You know,
dark.
This show was kind of dark too, especially when you had the episodes with
No Heart. or
yeah,
whatever
yeah,
his name
yeah,
is,
the leader dude, No Heart.
Yeah.
No
yeah,
Heart.
because there was Shrieky or
And
whatever,
Yeah.
and so those episodes specifically were with them were more like fucking Laurel and Hardy,
Yeah.
trying to catch the Care Bears.
Slapsticky.
Yes.
But when you brought in No Heart and shit, man, that's when it got like,
Yeah.
ooh,
The
that's
movie, though, God, I still remember seeing that in the theater. and
Oh, yeah.
Fuck, I love that movie.
Me too, actually. I really liked it. Was that the introduction of the Care Bear cousins?
yes,
I think so.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
That much I remember. I don't remember much of the movie though. I can't say
That carnival scene when the kids all fucking using all that dark magic. I remember being creeped out.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
It was good. It was
It was
that
so
nice,
good.
freaky. Yeah, it was good.
Speaking
Yeah,
of,
we had a lot of those.
speaking of
movies.
creeped out and animated movies, you watch a lot of the ones from like the 70s and stuff like that. And they're very,
Oh yeah.
like we were talking about Pinocchio.
Mm-hmm.
Even any story of Pinocchio, we were watching a little comparison between the book Pinocchio, the Disney Pinocchio, and the Guillermo del Toro.
One of the most prolific directors. But
Gamakakuju.
Oy vey.
His Pinocchio, and that's just a heavy story altogether, man. Just in general, like,
isn't it like some sort of metaphor for like capitalism or some shit?
They broke it down. Like the story has its own kind of meaning, like the book story, the original, and then Disney kind of played with it to a different extent, and then Guillermo del Toro has now played with it to another extent.
I got to see that still.
Yeah, it's a wild ride, man.
Yeah.
The whole idea of it.
It's kind of funny that people have like a reverence towards Pinocchio because of the story that it is.
It's because it's all about learning in some way.
Yeah,
like learning.
That's the Disney version, anyway.
Yeah,
but it was the way things were learned and what was learned that was different between the three
versions.
Major versions of Pinocchio, I guess you could call them. Because like in the Disney one, it was
tell the truth,
learn to not be a dick,
learn to not fuck up, learn from your mistakes.
Yes,
basically,
much,
right?
Yeah,
exactly. And I can't exactly remember.
Don't trust wolves.
The newer one's more like be yourself. Don't let anybody tell you how to be or whatever kind of story. And I can't remember what the original was.
It's probably like just be a kid.
No, the original was probably be listen to your parents.
Yeah, probably.
Yes,
yeah,
that's probably the original.
I think that's what it was. I think you're right. Actually, I think
isn't
you're right.
it funny? That's not what's translated in either version. Like if that's the main key point is to listen to your parents, which probably when was Pinocchio written? 1800s,
something like that.
Well, that's just it. Times change.
Yeah, and it's like don't worry about listening to your parents. Be yourself, or learn from your mistakes. Those are the lessons to learn.
Be honest.
Listen to your parents.
That type of shit.
Yeah.
Great story. I'm learning a lot about how much I don't like when books are turned into. Like when the original stories turned into something else.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
Because I just finished listening to The Running Man on Audible.
Oh, it's way different.
Yes.
Dude, it's a crime
that
the Arnold Schwarzenegger version was called
The Running Man.
Man.
I know. It's a facsimile of the actual fucking story.
Only similarity is the fact that corporations run, like this games corporation runs shit.
Yeah.
And the show that there is a show called The Running Man. The premise of The Running Man show is completely different.
Yeah,
there's no wrestler guys or anything like.
It's not like fucking American Gladiators.
No,
it's not like that.
Oh, man,
and that was Stephen King. The original,
written
Written
as Richard Bachman.
Yeah. And he took no credit because he didn't want it.
Yeah. He's like, no, I'm good,
man. Because like I think by any other name and by any other presentation, the Arnold Schwarzenegger one could have, but because there's that thing to compare it to, it's shit.
You're right.
I think that's what makes it.
Oh yeah, standalone. It's a great film.
Yeah,
absolutely. But is it is it the Running Man book? No.
When you're going like, oh man, I wish they couldn't they have, and it just bums me out when I watch the movie.
Yeah,
it makes me want to see a remake of the actual source material like they kind of did with it.
Yeah, and so, because their remake was decent. Except the second one. The second episode of the remake I never liked, or the second...
the second half of the book's kind of...
Yeah, but anyway...
Too.
How does that happen anyway?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's weird.
I forget my point now. Fuck.
Because you're more interested, I think, in the Goonies-like aspect of...
Oh, right,
the
not
first
the
half
adult
of the story.
Yeah.
And then when they become adults, it's just like...
Yeah,
you're a dick anyway. Fuck you.
Yeah.
When they remade The Stand, that was a good one.
Yeah,
from the flick perspective,
right? When they're
series or whatever they call it.
So I think people are slowly maybe starting to do this with Stephen King stories. I hope.
Yeah,
and make them better than like the Tommyknockers could have been good, but it was a made-for-TV movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So
Christine was changed a lot, even though, again, as a standalone movie, John Carpenter's Christine was a good fucking movie.
Yeah.
But when you have that comparison of the source material, it just doesn't.
It was inspired by the source material.
It's the same as The Shining, right? The Shining is the best egregious example of that.
I just started listening to that on Audible too because I was reading and I've watched it a gajillion times.
Oh yeah.
And I know that Stephen King again, it's another movie that he's like, no, that's not right.
Yeah, he hates it.
He fucking
hates it.
And it's because of all the metaphors and allegories and hidden meanings.
Yeah, 227. Is it
what's his name?
Kubrick did, and then the conspiracy that he was hiding shit about the filming of the moon landing.
Yeah,
in the film and stuff like that.
He shot the moon landing, didn't you know?
Apparently.
Him and Orson Welles.
Well, I mean, 2001: Space Odyssey is like, yep, that's our guy.
Right,
that's our guy. Even though that came out after the moon landing, but that's besides the point.
Well, time
they
travel.
saw the future.
That's right.
Time travel.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
They brought him back.
Exactly.
They saw that.
Yeah.
And they brought it. They were like, let's send him back.
Yeah.
To shoot the moon landing.
Exactly. Yeah. Send him back in time to shoot.
And
the
then
moon
there's
landing.
like
we have the technology to send people back in time.
So
we can't travel to the moon.
We're living in the timeline where he shot the moon landing.
Right. Right. Exactly.
There's still one timeline where he didn't.
Speaking of, have you guys been like paying attention to all this weird alien shit that's being talked about now?
No.
Are we talking about the thing in Vegas where
that's
the
one
cops went into the backyard?
That's one of the things.
Fucking aliens, but they turned out that was a meteor.
No, that's no. The weird thing about that, and I don't know if it's legit or not, but the weird thing about that is they're blacking out images.
Oh yeah,
of things, which is like it's something you don't do. You know what I mean? Like if there's something's going, yeah, exactly, which is kind of weird. So that's a weird thing. But the other thing too is there's that whistleblower. Didn't hear about that?
No.
I can't remember the guy. Paul Grush, I think his name is. I guess he used to be like a top military clearance dude who worked for the Pentagon, and he did like.
Let me guess, he told everybody about himself.
Okay,
right?
Pardon me.
Nothing. I'm being jerky.
Oh, yeah,
sorry.
Be jerky. Go ahead. Yeah, let's play cynicism. I'm just telling you the story. I don't know if it's legit or not.
Would that coincide with what that Bob
Lazar?
Yeah.
Yes. In fact, everything that Bob Lazar's been talking about was actuated by this guy's testimony.
Okay. Because I watched a few things about that guy.
Apparently, he's signed a dissertation. Apparently, he's gone up in front of members of Congress and things like this, yada, yada. Then he did this thing on News Report. And basically what he's saying, either he's been told or he himself has seen no less than 12 non-human crafts. And they've been in possession of the U.S. military. And the crazy fucked up part is the fact that this was hidden from the U.S. government, which is, I don't know how that works out. So anyways, I don't know if that's true. It's crazy because the story, like he doesn't come off like he's a psycho or anything like that. And he's just telling this story, very much like that Bob Lazar guy. Like it's like when you just keep saying the same story over and over and over again and there's no break, it's hard to not hear what they're saying, right? But I think the bigger thing is there's a lot of smoke here. There's a lot of smoke talking about aliens.
I kind of think that octopuses might be aliens.
I mean, they're the weirdest fucking thing I've seen on this planet.
Not fucking kidding. Like they're super intelligent. They can solve complex puzzles.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. Like they can get stuff out of jars. They can get in and out of things. They can
shoot ink out their butts.
They can shoot ink out their butts. they can regrow their fucking tentacles.
That's true. They can do
all that kind of shit, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah,
they're tasty.
Maybe they came down.
I've had teeny tiny, not the big ones,
like poplars or whatever the fuck it was on Futurama.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
The baby ones taste even better.
Oh wow,
that's what poplars were. They were baby Omicronians.
When they take over the world, I'd like to point out that I am not for eating the poplars or these.
No, I am not an octopus muncher.
No, I'll just chew on them all day.
But yeah, maybe that's where the spacecraft came from, man.
Maybe, man.
Maybe they aren't like 6 foot tall, almond-eyed, big-headed, gray-skinned fucking creatures.
Yeah, maybe they are just alien, or they're just octopi hanging out in the fucking So I don't know if any of this is true. I just bring it up for one reason. I want to ask you guys. Let's say, for argument's sake, it is true, or we have some sort of concrete confirmation that extraterrestrials exist. And for some reason or another, they've been or are visiting us in some capacity or another. How does life change if that information comes to fruition?
It doesn't for me.
No? Okay.
If there are or were aliens?
Yeah.
Again, assuming they don't share their technology and allow us to suddenly start traveling around the universe, then for me it doesn't change. Now, if they said, "Oh, here's technology, you can now travel around the universe," that'll change.
I have hopes.
What do you have? What are your hopes?
That they wouldn't be here to destroy us.
Well, that's a nice hope.
Well, because I don't see why they would.
Why? I don't know why they'd come here, but that's another question.
Maybe it was maybe we're a pit. Maybe we're a pit stop planet. Maybe we have some sort of resource that they need to.
If we were a pit stop planet, they would destroy the planet. I've seen this.
No,
maybe we're maybe Earth is like the London of the.
Shut up. Maybe we have a resource like water. Maybe they have figured out how to run their spaceships off of something like water.
Maybe.
Or that would be bad oxygen. For us. And that would be bad for us.
But
how
would it be? No, because they'd want to keep that going because it's like a fucking gas station.
Yeah, just like whoa. So we're making an assumption that and maybe they are, but if let's take a moment where oxygen is a requirement, they need good, clean oxygen.
It's not like fucking Spaceballs where they're gonna fucking suck the fucking planet.
Yes, they will.
They will do that
because they're.
I saw the
species.
movie.
Yeah, it happened. We saw
because they're not Spaceballs. They're an intelligent species.
Fair,
and they understand that they need to keep it.
Just hoping they're intelligent.
Yeah, so they're gonna go and they're gonna get rid of us humans who are damaging their ability to keep the O2 working and the planet working the way that needs.
No.
So therefore, they'll spread a virus, like a coronavirus that'll go.
No, that was the beer company.
Yeah, to make it easier for LGBT, right? That's the thing.
No, that's Bud.
Oh, okay, all right.
Bud Light.
I thought they were connected. No, they did the whole.
Oh no,
thing.
Bud doesn't make beer.
No.
Okay,
it doesn't make sense.
Swords are touching. Anyways, moving on.
But
I think it's interesting.
I don't know. I feel like I'd almost have not an "I told you so" moment, but I do believe that we'd have to be quite arrogant as a species to think we're the only.
What an anomaly that would be if we were the only intelligent life form. What an anomaly!
The odds of that are fucking astronomical. That
really,
we are the only quote unquote intelligent
and. Stars after stars after planet after planet.
Or even animals. Like there has to be other animals.
Yeah.
Somewhere. And that's why the South Park episode where Earth's a TV show is fucking hilarious.
Yes.
Because there's a planet of Asian people, and there's a planet of African American people, and there's a planet of white people. And they took there's a deer planet. Yeah. There's a fucking walrus planet.
And they just put them all on Earth. We're their entertainment.
Right?
I love it.
That's what it's funny because it's like, we'd have to be real dicks to think that there's nothing else somewhere.
I agree. It'd be really fucking weird if that was the case.
It would change my life as in like, I fucking knew it. I fucking knew it.
I feel like I would become more somewhat of a nihilist where it's like, why the fuck are we wasting our time on all this archaic nonsense when we literally have other life forms to deal with that don't come from this planet? I feel like that should take priority.
But then you'd have space racists. Like
you would.
You'd have the people like on South Park with the goobacks.
Yeah, the goobacks, the typesists. Yeah, same thing. It's same
or
thing.
The jack-offosaurs.
Yeah.
Your favorite episode.
Fuck those guys. Fuck those guys. They don't better not
Maybe
be the
that's
aliens.
What they are.
Better not be.
Maybe that's what they are.
I will fucking kill them all. Well, can't kill them. I'll kill myself. Fuck it. I can't do it.
But
yeah,
I don't know. Yeah, I don't subscribe to the pop culture idea of what having aliens on Earth could be.
Yeah,
or the Independence Day, kind of scary War of the World shit.
Yeah,
but I can't see why not.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah,
cool.
I don't know if I'd ever go to Area 51 and like. We're an alien.
I mean, Area 51 is passe now. You know,
it's Area 52 now.
Yeah, probably
moved on. Yeah.
I'd love if they actually called it 52.
I know, right? That'd be fucking awesome.
Did you hear about this? Do you know about this? That fucking whole submarine to the Titanic fucking bullshit.
That sucks.
Did you see the video of the dude giving the tour of the submarine? You would understand why this is happening.
How small is it? It's only 5 people can get in it, right?
It's like 5 people, so it's probably like as long
This
as
couch.
fucking couch.
Our little
Maybe a little
fucking-
bit longer to the wall.
AJ's
But
pointing
then,
out
like-
our little 3-foot.
But then,
Like
like,
couch.
maybe as wide as to the end of Dave's couch.
Gotcha.
Right? So 5 people. It's controlled by a Logitech fucking computer,
Yeah.
fucking
PS4 controller. or
PS4
something.
style
Yeah.
controller.
Yeah.
Yeah. Most of the fittings, most of the shit that's outfitted in it are from RV World.
No fucking way.
Yeah, man. Like you've probably saw
I've
RV
been to-
World
yeah, of
down
course.
in the States. I'm
yeah,
sure
I've
you've
been there numerous
there.
times. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bought lots of shit there because, I have an RV.
But yeah, but yeah.
That's crazy.
So,
So that was a homemade sub?
I guess it was like not made like fabricated. You know what I'm
Really?
saying?
Oh, yeah. I thought there was like a whole plant thing.
This is a whole janky fucking. I've been looking into it.
Jeez.
It's janky, man.
And one of the guys on there was like a billionaire.
yeah,
wasn't he?
there's I believe there's a couple.
Okay.
Like a man and a wife who are like Indian millionaires
Yeah.
from like India or something like that.
Mm.
Or yeah, there's like there's like some. I think there's like a scientist dude and a couple other people who are like, yeah, they'll give you fucking money to do this. Like, no.
People give money to get
No.
shot
It
into
just-
space.
That's
it's
true.
just,
I mean, we'd give
but
money
that's
to go
not
shoot
janky.
into space, you know?
But that's not. There's
But I mean, it could be. There's lots
not
of
as
people that.
janky as this.
No,
man.
but
Not as-
there are like people that do make their own rockets in their backyard. That is a thing.
but not space rockets. Like,
Well,
we're talking like
no.
the rockets that just like go up.
No,
And they come down on a
There are
fucking-
people that are trying to
like
blast
model
into
rockets.
No, people are legit trying to build
This
rockets
isn't
that go into
fucking
space.
Star Trek Insurrection or
I
whatever
know, but
fucking
I'm just
movie
saying,
this is, man.
there are DIYers out there that do
no,
that.
There are.
I'm telling you, I've seen
You
docs
can't
on
be-
it. I've seen docs on it. It's
then,
crazy.
Then
I
these people
saw it
are
on
gonna
the
get-
YouTube.
These
These
people are
fucking
going to
true.
get in trouble because there's got to be some sort of government mandate that you can't do that.
Yeah, but as long as they inform airspace, I guess there's some sort of agreement where it's allowed. I'm not sure the whole thing about it. I just know it happens. And I'm just saying that you got people that do this shit all the time. For whatever my naive brain was thinking, there's no way someone would just build a fucking little submarine and everyone go down to see the Titanic. That's insane.
Yeah.
That sounds like
it's-
that's
I think
ridiculous.
It's a company. Like it's like a. I'd look it up, but it would take too long.
No,
to
it's more fun
get
this
into
way
the
anyway.
to get into the specifics of it, right? It would take too long. But yeah, they're like gone, man.
Yeah, man. I think
They're
this
like
is it.
they're like hearing sounds, like they're following sounds that
Oh,
they
Lord.
think.
I thought
Are-
they found it, but I could be completely incorrect.
We could have a look on that one. But last I looked, which was last night, that hadn't, and it was like as of 2 hours from.
I
when
have to admit, the only
Googled it.
reason I know anything about this is the damn phone keeps going, CBC top news.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, me
okay.
too. I keep getting that too.
Yeah,
And I mean
just-
it nicely. And again, this is now me being me, which is probably far worse than the two of you. Why? It's one of those, why am I getting alerts? Because there's nothing else happening.
Right. There's a slow news day. Well, aside from 5 people probably died.
Like,
But
don't
yeah,
get me
I
wrong,
you.
5
Well,
people
yeah,
died.
by now,
That
I
sucks.
think they're out of air.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
sucks.
so
That's the problem.
The headline on this is Titanic submersible likely imploded after catastrophic failure, U.S. Coast Guard says.
No,
That's the likeliness. And they would have ran out of air at like 7:10 a.m. this morning.
Well, if it imploded, they didn't
I mean,
worry about
there was
air.
no, yeah, exactly. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So
That's why you
I'm very
don't
sad for them.
fucking
But
around, man.
also, part of me is
How
like,
the fuck did James Cameron get
Tomorrow?
well, that's the
that?
thing. Like, he did his thing in
that's
there.
that's deep as fuck, man.
Yeah, man.
That's
Yeah.
deep as fuck.
Are they near the Marianas Trench?
No, it's just off the
Somewhere near
I
Newfoundland.
don't know where they
yeah,
are.
they're just off the coast of Newfoundland.
Oh, my, that's right. They're right. That's
Yeah.
right.
the
That's
Titanic.
right. Okay.
Yeah, the Titanic's just like off the coast of Newfoundland
Really?
because they were heading to
Yeah.
New York.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always thought.
No, man.
No, it's fairly, I don't know how close, but I do know
That's why
our
the waters
peeps
were
have been
like all
involved.
cold and icy and shit.
Yeah.
Huh.
Marianas Trench is like down
Yeah.
by fucking
Not near
Australia. and
there. Okay. All right. Well, I don't know my fucking oceanic
shit.
geography.
Yeah, man. You're fucking like. I'm pretty sure like if
Listen,
you're
I didn't
looking
go
at
to
a
school
map,
for that.
if you're looking at a map, fucking Titanic's up here and Marianas Trench is like down here.
Ah, okay. All right.
And if you're looking at a globe, it's down here and it's
And
up there.
right? Or it's like over here and one's over here.
Fair.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. I stand corrected.
And if you're looking at a real globe, which looks like a plate,
right,
Oh,
that's
you're
right.
right.
Just
Here
one
we
solid plane.
over here and over here.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah, yeah,
If you subscribe to the
for sure.
what about cube? Is there cube earthers?
No,
No.
I've never heard that.
We've just gone to sphere and everybody just kind of stopped.
yeah,
No, man, we're a pyramid.
yeah. Well, we could also be wrong. Remember, at one point in time, we thought not only did we think the world was flat or there was an edge of the world, but we also thought the sun revolved around us. And then we're like, oh, no, we're wrong about that. So it's very possible we don't know shit about shit.
The sun thing kind of makes sense if you don't have the actual technology, if you're just looking up at the sky.
Yeah.
But the fact that you can get in the water in a boat
Yeah.
and go from where you are and go straight and then end up back where you started,
but
because it's a round,
But can you
and
do
not
that?
fall off.
Yeah.
Like, how many people have done that?
Lots.
A few have, yeah.
Have they?
You
Yeah.
have to go through like the canal-y thing.
Like, I'm not,
Yeah.
I'm not a flat earther or anything like that, but like, I mean, I haven't done that. Like you guys haven't. You know what I mean? It's one of those things where it's
Yeah,
like,
but it's like what we just spoke about 2
I haven't gone to
seconds
New
ago.
Orleans either, so
that's true. That's
Yeah.
true.
Or
Well, then
and I
I-
haven't seen the alien artifacts
Right.
in person in
That's
such
true.
a way that I can trust it. So it's like
You
anything
gotta
in
take
life.
the info. Yeah.
You take
We're
what
all-
you want, you put your own little spin in the sense of what you believe in the context and understanding, and that's what you roll with.
And if
Right.
you rely on science and technology and the fact that we can send things up into space now,
Mhm.
whereas when your examples were things, there was not this technology.
Yeah, they didn't have the same instruments like we do now.
Like when we, like you said, when we thought the fucking sun revolved around the earth, there wasn't even a fucking telescope. They didn't think
But
that
either
back
way, yeah,
in the
I know what you're talking about. I know
1950s,
what you're
Chief.
talking about. Yeah. No, before the 1950s.
I know, but you
Yeah,
know what
yeah, I
I'm
get
saying.
you.
Like
Yeah.
it was long enough
Yeah, you're
ago
right. That's
that,
semantics at that point,
people
yeah.
weren't
Yeah.
necessarily intelligent enough because the technology didn't exist.
Right.
Now you have all these space telescopes and in the International Space Station and actual videos and pictures and things where you can see a ball,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Or like it again, it's kind of would be silly to believe that looking at other planets with telescopes and stuff like that, every other planet is its flat face is to
Yeah.
us
Yeah.
and the sun. Then you'd constantly have the sun.
Yeah.
Then there would be no night and day.
True.
The entire plate would have to
based
flip
off
over,
yeah.
right? To
Well,
have a nighttime.
Here's my thing.
What I'm amusing before you get in
and
there.
half the plate, it would have to be half the plate would have
It
to
would
flip
have to
over
be, yeah.
because the other half of the plate it has to have sun.
That's true,
Based
yeah.
off of what we know. So sorry. I hate
No.
flat earth people.
I'm just going to say, just the amount of time and the stress that's visible in your face
Yeah,
right
it's
now
pretty
is
great.
fucking hilarious.
pretty great.
I thought about it because I mean you think about things the first time you ever hear like, oh, there's people who believe that the earth is flat. You're like,
Yeah.
and you're stoned.
Yeah.
And you're thinking about it and going, no.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
just so much
Well,
like
People
so-
think
it's
about
like
a
people
lot.
who
They
don't
sure
believe
do.
dinosaurs existed.
This is how fucking bored people have got that they got to think of shit like this. My biggest thing with a flat earth theory, if it's a conspiracy theory, is like why would that be the conspiracy? Like, why would hiding a spherical
Humans.
or whatever? Yeah, but like why?
It's humans. It's
Yeah.
like people used to say back before, COVID never happened.
Right. That
Things
will
of this
be.
nature.
You'll have COVID deniers, I'm sure.
Well, no, we
as
already
time
do.
goes. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Oh,
People
yeah.
that say, it wouldn't. Now I'm picking on specifics recently.
Sure.
Oh, Trump wasn't as bad as everybody says he was. He did nothing wrong.
oh my
Like that's what I mean. Like
That's
it's
a matter of perspective.
but this is humans.
That's
Humans
That's a
are
matter of
humans.
intelligence.
No,
it's just humans. Like it's
Yeah.
one person will have this in their head and that's what they say. That's what they
true.
do. And again, those same people hearing us say the things we say say shit about us
for sure.
because we're
It's
all
actually-
fucking human.
It's actually funny that what we were talking about before we started with cults and whatnot. Could it be a longing to belong to something,
Maybe.
like
Maybe.
a group of people who all believe the same thing or could believe the same thing, just like
We are
your
big fans of
cults
belonging. Yep.
and
it's true.
whatnot.
Yeah.
Because that's my whole thing. Like I don't understand. And to be serious, all joking aside,
Oh,
learning about Scientology and learning about Mormonism and stuff like that, in my opinion, if you wanna at me in the comments, fan.
Yeah, go ahead, 20 fans.
Go ahead. But
Yeah.
I understand how people could follow like Catholicism and believe in Jesus, whereas I don't get how you could believe in Jesus in that capacity. Like, he didn't. He wasn't in the United States. He didn't have anywhere to get there. He didn't hop in a fucking canoe,
but he's Jesus,
and get no. Okay,
he can walk across water.
AJ.
and you know how long it would take for him to walk that
AJ.
fucking far.
I would like to point out it was actually the aliens, like we were just talking about, that helped Jesus
Oh.
get over here.
Yeah, see?
Or I mean, there are certain things that do boggle my mind about the Bible and stuff. It's like when they found out dinosaurs were a thing, why not just retcon that shit?
It's a great question.
Why not stick that in there? And
No,
people,
instead they
and
just
people,
deny them. They deny
Right?
their existence.
Exactly.
Yeah, nah, they didn't exist.
It's like
we've only been around for like
put them in there.
2,000 years. Like,
Dinosaurs, dinosaurs.
You got to remember though, some
you want to
people do
have
that.
Adam and
Yeah,
Eve, that's
some
great.
people.
If you don't want to think
No, I
that
mean,
there was
seriously.
disconnect between dinosaurs and cave people,
yeah.
then that's fine. You first cave, Adam and Eve, blah blah blah. But there were fucking dinosaurs.
The only thing is, again, it's always about how people are perceiving it. Because again, I know people that are actually quite religious in that sense of they believe in God, they believe in deities. And do they believe that Adam and Eve were the first? No, they know that's not true.
Right.
But they also know that our human perception is Adam, Eve, that idea, that concept. So I disagree in that sense that you can be religious, believe in a deity, a higher power, blah, 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 all these things. And I mean blah, blah, blah in the nice way.
Praise science.
And also totally understand and believe in science.
Well, that
For
wasn't
sure.
my question.
Okay, because it
My
sounded
question-
more like
my
you were
question
saying
is,
if you
why
believed
didn't
in
they take the Bible and put dinosaurs in it?
because that would be abridging and making changes to something
Right.
that was written a long time ago. Why?
It's
Why?
right.
Because it makes sense. Because it's factual.
But they're not. It's not. But again, remember, the Bible's not a factual element. Even in the context of most Christians, they'll say the same
Right.
thing.
It's true.
It's the perception and idea and how.
The
Most,
stories,
but
the
not
metaphors.
like you're militant. Like
No,
but
wow,
when
you can say about anything.
Bible thumpers, if
Yeah.
you will. They're taking it at word,
Some people do, but again, people are people. It's
right? Like
yeah.
you believe in dinosaurs, and you're
I do.
down with the JC,
Sure.
right?
But
So-
we've always discussed this too. Like the whole JC thing is like a personal thing. But if it was proven that he doesn't exist or whatever, I still believe because it brings something to my life.
I guess it's also, I think, maybe somewhat the way you think about it, right?
Sure.
Because
I have
we've
a-
had this conversation before, and like I'm not a religious person, but I
Sure.
don't not believe that he was a dude.
Might
I
have
don't
been.
not
Might
believe
not have
that,
been.
that he went around and was like, "Hey, don't be a dick. Let's try this.
Maybe.
Let's try this."
Yeah.
Like things are shitty.
But then there's
Let's try
also
this.
theories out there. There was like at least 4 different versions of the same character of Jesus before that one, right?
I've
there's
heard that as well.
Also, too, the one thing I've always had an issue with the Bible, or the people that curated the Bible, when they found the Dead Sea Scrolls, which was a bunch more writings of that time period, they didn't include much, if anything, of that as like a New Testament, if you will.
Right.
So, and then today's point, they're not going to do that because it's a book that was written eons ago or curated eons ago, and the point isn't to be factually correct or to be historically accurate. It's to provide like a book
perception.
of perception, like metaphor stories to help you. Grow and stuff.
So my question is exactly the same as saying, why isn't there dinosaurs in Hansel and Gretel?
Yes, more or less.
Okay.
But I guess the difference with the Bible is there are some things that may have happened, like Jesus may have existed, and maybe Jonah was a giant or did visit a giant whale. Like there are things that may have happened because we have like historical references to it, like the flood. We know that there was some sort of flood at the time that it was written. So I guess that's it. Like the Bible's kind of like wrestling that way. It's a little bit real life, a little bit fake. Or
That's a good. I like
so,
that.
So
Actually.
the Bible is kayfabe in
a little bit kayfabe, a little bit, like it's got
in
a
your
little
wrestling
going on.
vernacular.
For sure, yeah. So I mean, but like it's what it brings to your life, the stories in it and all that sort of stuff. Because if you try to dispute all the shit, like fuck that, it's like it's too long an argument.
To a degree that I can get, right? Because again, when you boil something down to its essentials,
Yeah.
don't be a dick.
Yeah, don't be a dick.
Right? Jesus said it. Buddha said it.
Yeah.
Fucking, I'm sure if we look in the Quran, Muhammad said
Definitely
it.
Muhammad said it.
Don't be a fucking prick.
Yep.
Live your life.
It's
in
more
a,
than
in a
that,
way,
but that's you're not
boil
shelling
it down to
for sure.
its essence.
You know.
Definitely.
Yeah, and I mean, like the Ten
Nutshell.
Commandments are like very like simple rules to live by, and if you do live by those rules, chances are you're not going to be a dick.
Yeah.
Chances are, you know,
like if you take it out of the fact that it's comes from a religion,
right,
and you just look at it as statements, yes, don't kill people,
don't kill people.
Don't be jealous of people,
don't fuck your neighbor's wife,
don't fuck your neighbor's wife,
Like, I mean,
you know what,
don't
fuck
steal from your neighbor,
don't fuck the broad 3 doors down either.
Don't do that. Like, come on, just don't be
don't
that
fuck
guy.
other people if
don't
you're married,
steal people's
right?
shit. What are you doing? Why gotta be like that, you know?
Or if they're married, like don't fuck when you're married and they're married, like
come on,
shit like that. Or I mean, I guess maybe it's more of a tip. Hey, maybe you shouldn't believe in false idols.
Well, that's
Stuff
true
like
too.
that.
I also think too, like, I mean, there's a great line that Christians like to use, and that the Bible was written to us. The Bible was written for us, not to us. Wait,
we wrote the Bible.
The Bible was written for us, not to us. So the idea being that it's not supposed to be taken in a literal sense, considering when it was written.
Right.
So I kind of wouldn't mind, and we won't have this through our current religious outposts, but I wouldn't mind like an updated version of the commandments. You know what I mean? Like just
Or
because
even-
we changed and moved forward, it would be
Or
nice to
even
have
an
something like a
updated version of the Bible.
yeah. Well,
Like-
again,
like
like the Dead
something
Sea
that-
Scrolls. Like, why isn't that stuff
something that's
in there?
maybe? Well, no, I'm thinking something that's maybe a little more direct.
Yeah.
You know, like less read between the lines, less having to have a place where you go and somebody stands up and gives you their interpretation as well, right?
Yeah.
Like each priest is different, each sermon is different, but it's based on the same words.
Principles? Yeah.
Well, not even principle, but like the word, like they're taking chapter X, verse X, and saying, "Oh, that's what this means to this congregation."
Right.
And then 2 blocks away,
It's something
they're
else,
saying they're taking the same passage and interpreting it completely differently.
We kind of have that now, though. A lot of the Bible is interpreted differently depending on the religious organization you're a part of. Like there's
But even
similarities.
that's kind of a problem because that was a problem back in the days when you had knights and crusades and shit like that, where Baptists were fighting Protestants.
Yeah, everybody's battling
but it's
in God's
the same
word,
fucking
God's name.
book.
Yep.
Yeah, but you're
Right?
never
So there
going to
needs
be
to be
able
like
to
a
change
universal
that.
fucking like
That
010011001 means the same
But there
fucking
won't be-
thing
there
to
won't be
you that
that.
it does to Johnny at
Once it comes to
programming
words
company
and
down the street.
perceptions, you can't make
Yeah.
everybody think the same unless they're the Borg. It does not
that's true.
matter.
You can't. Yeah, you can't.
We just
Everyone
talked-
can't assimilate.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
No,
You can't
that
even
will
preface it with the words you're reading are
No.
what they mean.
No.
because
Don't be stupid.
no.
Doesn't
you
work that way.
can't. That's
You're asking for a universal truth, and you can't have a universal truth if everybody has their own personal truth.
I wouldn't say necessarily universal truth.
But that's like the whole joke about 42 and things like that.
Yeah.
That's why it's the answer.
Yeah.
You can't argue with 42.
Right.
It is 42.
That's the secret of
There
life.
is no perception on that.
Right.
Whereas when somebody says, or I say to you, "Oh, AJ, you know what? Bands are now bad because that's a bad thing to do." That's my perception. That's my boat. It doesn't mean that
They have a whole documentary about that, Dave. It's called Footloose. Go watch it, okay?
I do love Footloose. This is
That's
true.
great, yeah.
It's about this whole town that believed that dancing was bad. You would love it, Dave.
I would love the dancing. But that's what I mean.
Don't get me wrong.
It's perception. That's all I'm trying to say. There is
Yeah.
no right answer to making humans
But-
think the same. You float your
you
boat.
you make it a cult.
No. You float your boat. You be as
Because
happy as you can be without
there's-
sinking
but I
others.
mean- But I mean, look at Scientology. There's no read between the lines.
Yes, there is.
His word is his word. You go by L. Ron
Yeah,
Hubbard's
but
word.
like-
what he
but here's
said
the thing.
is fucking what it is.
You don't learn what the quote unquote truths are of that Bible or of that religion until you're in the upper echelon of it.
Because you have to pay.
I was just saying, like, you know what I mean? Like, but you don't learn the thing is, when you go to like another church, say regular church, but another church, there's no like reading between the lines there. It's like, oh, Jesus, and if you accept Jesus, then you're, Christian and going to heaven. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's just indoctrination.
But then why is there a guy
perception.
going up front going like, oh, this is what happened in the story. Okay, so what that means is. And then that's what they're talking about in the sermon. Okay, here's the next line.
Well, that's what Bible studies are.
Jesus walked on water. Well, what that means is fucking he's magic. Like,
yeah, that's right.
No.
Yeah, he's magic. He's magic. He is
Jesus
magic.
turned water into wine, which means he's fucking David Blaine's great uncle
And a fan of booze.
and a drunk.
And a drunk.
Like,
yeah. You like to have a drink on the
That's
weekend.
okay.
Whatever. It's okay. It's no
Apparently,
problem.
that's
no problem.
okay.
No problem. Okay, everyone look.
Alcoholism is in the Bible, people.
Technically, it's just a sip, but
whatever. Yeah.
No, he had the whole big.
No,
he turned
that's
out
kind of
like a big.
That's the
keg
beauty
thing.
of religion before like organizations put their fingers in it, is like Dave's saying, it's based on your perception of it, your understanding of it. And unfortunately, that does mean there are people out there that are going to use it to cause wars and fights and things like that. But then there are other people, hopefully the majority, that see it as something beautiful and that they can use it as a template to make their lives a bit more positive. Their boats sink a little bit, or float a little.
I'm gonna say you don't want the
float a
boat
little
to
higher
sink.
and help other people raise their boats. That's all.
That's. I mean, yeah. That's
Maybe it's bullshit. Maybe it's not. But as long as it's bringing people goodness in their life, then
I guess it's that whole one bad apple thing too,
for sure.
Right? Like you think okay, Westboro Baptist Church, well, church, Jesus, God,
for sure.
Bible, right? Everybody's anybody who goes to church is
for sure
got to be a little bit like that or something, right? One bad apple.
It's like the Catcher in the Rye, because that fucking asshole killed John Lennon.
That's exactly that's what that book was saying.
Yeah,
that's exactly what that book was saying.
Killed John Lennon.
It was written by a time traveler.
The work is done, so the book doesn't.
That's why it's banned, because it's just there's no relevance anymore.
That's funny. Yeah, but we shouldn't ban it. Like it's still got cultural relevance.
Oh no,
to it.
you're absolutely right. I don't think it. I think, but there's more reasons why it was banned. It was apparently it's a vulgar.
I've never read it.
Quote unquote vulgar to whatever standards at that time it was banned.
Yeah.
Right.
When was it written? 1800s, 1900s?
Something's very far back.
What was the book again?
Catcher in the Rye.
It was 1900s. It wasn't 1800s.
I thought so. Early 1900s, mid 1900s.
No, I want to say it was like the 50s or 60s.
I thought so.
Catcher in the Rye.
What?
Yeah, look it up. Have you read it, Dave?
I might have. I don't have a memory of it though. I have to admit.
Yeah, I don't. I just know that at one time I came up with a plot that someone told me was very similar to Catcher in the Rye, of an idea for a film project I wanted to do. So that's really the only reference. When is it? 54?
No, Dave. He said 50, so 51.
Hey, nice. Yeah. Nice. I thought it was mid, but I didn't.
Yeah, because it's
censorship. Hold on, you guys talk amongst
so,
yourselves.
Yeah, just to that point. Like, I think
humans blaming things. Again, humans blame things. 1 minute it's religion, next minute it's the color of a person. The minute after that it's a book, then it's a song.
So
it's
at first it was banned because in high schools in 1978, when 3 members of the school board alleged the book was a part of an overall communist plot.
Oh, that makes sense.
The ban did not last long. 1981. It was both the most censored book and second most taught book in public schools. I'm still not getting this.
I think that's maybe where I read it, though.
That's a blowback.
Yeah.
That's a blowback from being
The challenges generally begin with Holden's frequent use of vulgar languages. Other reasons include sexual references, blasphemy, undermining of family values and moral codes, encouragement of rebellion, the promotion of drinking, smoking, lying, promiscuity, and sexual abuse.
Yeah.
This book was written for an adult audience, which often forms the foundation of many challengers' arguments against it. Anyway,
that makes sense.
That's why.
Banned. Okay, yeah.
So I could see why
it's still banned, which is fucked.
But
depending on the region, it's not.
Not everywhere.
So, I guess, maybe not banned, but there should be some sort of literary something to show people who are interested in that hey, you can write like this. Like writing is a way to express that or tell a story
two
about
sides
that.
Of the coin.
That's
so
true.
It's like Hitler's novel.
Yeah, Mein Kampf.
I haven't even.
So it's it's one of those things where it often can be based on just the perception, the angle, and who wrote it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like I don't disagree. Like okay, should it be available? Yes. Should it be available in a public school so a grade 7 can read it? Without context,
Yeah, so I think that's the problem then. There was no context or no teaching about the fact that like, yeah, this is not cool shit, but like if you want to be a writer,
But it's no different than
you're
a
not
television
limited
show.
to
Streaming show?
No, it's not different than television shows.
Right.
Movies. Like it's again, it's nothing to do with the book per se. It's just humans. Like I guess I'm missing the point. Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah.
yeah.
I'll agree
Because
with
the
that.
point I'm trying to make is probably like it should be taught somehow, or something should be taught that's saying like freedom of speech is a thing.
Yeah, and that should be
Right.
something.
and that this is why this book isn't for you, but here's another little more edgier book than fucking
yeah,
Green Eggs and Ham.
and that as a parent, if you're talking about children, you can.
So you
certainly
think it
take
should fall on the parent
Oh,
as
it
opposed
should
to being taught in an
always
English
start-
class?
Always. You should not be. No.
Yes.
Yeah. It is not, in my opinion, a school's job to tell a child what they
should think or
should
how
think
to
or
think.
Exactly. Yes. Thank you.
A school's job, from my perspective, is to give everybody that same everything.
Yeah.
And then it's up to the family, the friends, that your parents to then give that context in the
Mhm.
realm of what you perceive. Because,
Right.
and I mean this nicely, what you perceive as the value of living, good for your community, all those elements may be different than that person 2 doors down or 2 kilometers.
So if your
200,
kids, if your kids into writing and reading books, it's up to the parents to say, here, this is a good book, but don't take it to school.
why not take it to school?
Yeah, well,
I guess it depends on the book.
Actually, that
Catcher
happened
in the
to me.
Rye. That's
Yeah,
what I'm
yeah.
saying. Here's a good book. It's a classic.
That
Read
happened to
it,
me,
but don't
actually.
take it to school.
That happened to me in grade
You're on
5.
another side of the conversation.
I was gifted a book called Clan of the Cave Bear, and I was not allowed to read it. My teacher, I took it to school with me, started reading it, and it's a really fucked book. If you want to look at the plot, go look it up. It's got a lot of weird ass shit in it, but it's definitely not made for a grade 5 reading level, which whatever. But they thought I would like it, and that's why they gave it to me. My teacher at the time did not think I should be reading such a book with all these proclivities in it. So I wasn't allowed to read it for I don't know, another 3-4 years. Then I read it. And yeah, there's like nudity and sex and stuff like that going on in it. But at the end of the day, I didn't feel like any sort of like it was going to change.
You didn't want to kill John
Whatever.
Lennon.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't kill John Lennon, right? Exactly. But it also did help me realize, oh, this is a new way of writing. You know what I mean? Like,
And that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
That's what I'm trying to talk about.
But I mean, I did that at home. I didn't do it.
Yeah,
at
but
school.
say it. Like,
And that's was what I was just trying to say. So it's the family or the parents, like, this is a good book. You can
Yeah.
read it. Just don't do a fucking book report on it. Don't take it to school and read it because it's probably not the best.
But
thing to be
also
read.
too, like
Okay,
schools
I
will
get
pick
it.
and choose shit. Like they'll sit there and say, Catcher in the Rye's banned for all those reasons. But then like 1984 is a book you can read, which is it's got some pretty heavy.
Like I could
Okay,
understand
then.
like
I
a
don't-
public
yeah,
school
but it probably
student in
doesn't
grade
have-
5 saying no to the class. I would,
Sure.
we can't do a presentation on Catcher in the Rye. But I guess in my head, throughout my entire high school, I can never think of being told not to read Catcher in the Rye.
No, I don't think I did.
I don't think it's a Canadian thing.
Oh, okay.
I don't
As
think
much
I don't
so.
think it's a banned
No.
in Canada thing.
Yeah.
because we're a little more open to the idea of books and
speech.
books and art being a form of freedom and speech, right?
Like we could never, it would never be as silly as in high school to go and watch the Japanese animation with boobs hanging
Ghost
out.
in the Shell.
That would
No
never
way.
happen in a high school.
Never. Yeah, shut down our anime club, you sons of bitches.
Hey, we
Oh
had
my-
one session, right?
I know, one session
Okay, I
you
can
got
see
through
why
one.
they did
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But that's
But,
just it. You just said the key point. You understand why we were shut down after watching the anime in high school.
Yeah, you get that.
You get it. But somebody
because
else
you shouldn't be watching cartoons from a foreign land. And
That's
What?
great. Yeah,
Well
that's
played.
ridiculous. Yeah, that's
But
true.
that's what I mean.
Makes
Whereas
sense to me.
it's entirely possible nowadays, another location, it could be totally accepted.
But I was gonna make a point to, and that make a point to this too. 1984, not necessarily maybe as gratuitous in the subject matter. Like, is there any sexual abuse in it?
There's sex.
Is it?
Yeah.
So, but
And it's
sexual
gratuitous sex.
abuse.
It's not abuse.
There's sex, but is
there
there
is
violence
torture
and
there is
sex?
violence and there is all those things are prevalent in the book at some point.
Yeah.
They're just it's told from a very dark and gray point of view.
Yeah.
And because it's, I guess, like a futurist book, maybe they allow it. But I've never heard of 1984 being on any ban list ever. But Catching the Rye on lots of ban lists. There's lots of books out there that are on ban lists, but that one is just what we're talking about right now. So I just think it's kind of odd that schools pick and choose what's, acceptable to teach about, whether it's creative writing or whatever else, versus something that is not supposed to be those things. That's all.
I don't disagree with that.
Yeah. This is weird, And again, I'm not an educator. So if you're, by the way, if you're listening to our podcast,
there's educator and psychology that goes behind all that too, right? So
for sure. Yeah. And just so you guys know, Catching the Rye is not a sponsor of this episode. But
well, it's a
should
book, so yeah.
Exactly.
You can't really.
yeah.
Well, let's
Penguin books.
Since we're all agreeing, let's wrap it up on that note. How's that?
Wait a minute. I don't agree.
No, Dave. By the time this episode comes out, trust me, you'll have agreed with everything.
That's right. You will.
After I work with it a little bit, you'll have agreed.
You'll agree. It's like,
I'm just gonna take when you said yes, and I'm just gonna
it's gonna be
flop it in all after. Because when I say anything, it'll just be yes.
Yes.
It'll be.
Yeah, it'll be like when Chef.
Exactly.
Chef
yes.
thing, yeah.
AJ was right, and he is the smartest man I've ever met in my whole life. Love you.
And
Something like that.
Yeah. Oh, thanks, Dave.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Great.
Oh, thanks, Dave. Okay, I can use that.
That's usable audio.
Yeah.
Right. And you out there, what'd you think of our conversation? Little wacky? Little crazy? We want to hear from you. Let us know. Please keep the conversation going within our comments and keep it going within our Discord server and help us grow that out if you could. That'd be awesome. If you like what we're doing, we got ourselves a little Buy Me a Coffee link, so please throw us a few bucks there if you want to help us pay for some bubblies or help pay for studio time and all that good stuff. And outside of that, if you're not feeling well in the mental department, we just want to let you know that you matter, not just to us, but to those who are around you. Everybody is going through mental issues these days. So if you can't talk to anybody that's in your direct vicinity, we're going to have some links within our description so you can seek out some of the help and conversations you might need. But until next time, I've been Harvey.
I'm to Dave.
I still believe the world's a cube. Fight me.
Cube Earth theorists.
That's right.
I love it.
I've been AJ.
Yeah, it's been AJ. You just got yourself sarcastically distracted. Thanks so much for joining us. Have a wonderful night. Peace.
Take care, all. Bye now.